Hey everybody, it's me, Jamie from jaimeshooked. So, I'm going to share with you some of my finished objects that I've been working on. They're like, well, the majority of them are like 95% finished because I haven't woven in a lot of ends and I haven't added some details, but for the most part, they're done. I just kind of just need to weave in some ends and things, maybe add some buttons, etc. So, I wanted to show off just a few things that I've been working on. Um, and they just started piling up a little bit. So to start off, I have been starting to get into like the fall mood, and I started making pumpkins back in July. So I have a bunch of yarn that was black and orange striped. I've held on to it for a long time. This was I love this yarn. Um, Sport Stripes or something, or Team Spirit or something like that. But anyway, it was like a clearance yarn, and I picked it up a few years ago. And before I even got on YouTube, I was just like, I had this, just rolling around in my stuff. And so I've been making pumpkins with this because I was going to make with this yarn. I was going to make like a Halloween scarf, but I just wasn't feeling it. So I was like, hmm, let's make some pumpkins with it. I think it turned out so cute. Look at the stripes, stripy little pumpkin, and I love the little short fat pumpkins like that. And I made one that's a little bit bigger, and it's also a little short fat pumpkin. And then I made a stem for it out of some extra black buttons that I had. I just kind of stacked them. So I've got like a big button on the top, and then I took two rounded top buttons and kind of put the flat sides together. And so it's kind of a wobbly little button stem, but I think it's really charming. I think it really adds, it's something different. So I want to find something kind of cool. Maybe I'll get some more of those same black buttons. I got them at Hobby Lobby um, to put on this one, and maybe that's what I should do next time. And then was given some yarn at a meetup, and some of you have seen this. I showed this in a live once before, but I did a pumpkin out of this Patton's. I can't remember the name of the yarn. It was Patton's wool something. I can't remember the name of it now. But I googled. I was looking for some crochet pumpkin tutorials, and I saw this one picture, and I was like, because what I do is I'll just Google it, and then I'll just do images only, and that will kind of give me an idea of what I want to see. It's almost kind of like using Pinterest, I guess, in a sense. And I saw this one picture, and it had a pumpkin with these slanted ridges, and I was like, that's neat. I want to do that. So, and I figured that would be perfect with this variegated yarn. And since I'm not the biggest fan of wool, because I find it to be a little scratchy, um, I figured that'd be perfect for this. And I only had one skein, and I was playing yarn chicken, making this thing, but it turned out really nice. I just love how slanted it is, and it introduced to me a stitch technique that was a corner to corner single crochet. And this was a back loop corner to corner single crochet. But I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, why can't I do corner to corner any of the other stitches, like half double, double, triple? Maybe maybe I can do it with cables. Ooh, oh, there's possibilities there. I have to try that out. Maybe I'll come up with something new and different. Hey, anyway, and some people were wanting to, have me do a tutorial on how to do corner to corner single crochet, and I'm like, I will eventually do that. I've been thinking about it, and that's what I really want to do. I do want to get a stem for this. A lot of other uh, people on YouTube I've seen who've been making pumpkins have been using cinnamon sticks, and I'm thinking that's kind of what I really want to do. Now, the person who came up with this pumpkin pattern, they're not on YouTube, not that I can tell, but they are on Facebook and they are on Pinterest. Um, and it's called a plush pineapple. So you can find them on Facebook. I'm going to try to link them down below from Facebook. So I'm going to see if I can try to find them. I don't know if I can, but put a link for their Facebook on to my description box. I think I can actually, but anyway. So I'm gonna do that, and I just love this pumpkin. I think it turned out so neat and so cool. I love the fact that it's just slanted, and these are just some beautiful fall colors. There's some browns and some pinks and some golds, and I mean it's just a really pretty pumpkin. I think it turned out really good. Anyway, so I did a yarn haul from Michael's last week. It's a couple Mondays ago. Was it a couple Mondays ago? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, it was a lot. So for a little while there, yeah, it was a couple Mondays ago. For a little while there, I was, I just had the big bags and I just kind of stuffed them in my yarn room. And I was like, I was looking at it, I was like, I got to start working through this stuff. And so, yeah, I had to really start working through it. Anyway, so I have some of the ball bands here. Oops, am I shaking the camera? I hope not. Let's see. It was not this one. Anyways, it was the Lion brand Thick and Quick. No, I'm sorry. Um, Lion brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick. That's what it was. And the colorway was Urban Camo. Now, again, I'm not a big fan of wool. This doesn't feel bad, but it's still, to me, it's still itchy. But I started making some slouchy beanies with this, and this is somewhat my own pattern. I took inspiration from another pattern. And so the pattern that I took the inspiration from is from this book. I've had this book for a good while, um, since before I got on YouTube. So it's Slouchy Beanies. I love this book. This is a really good book. And the inspiration I took from it is this pattern right here with the handsome dude on it. And it's just this basic slouchy beanie hat. And so what I do is, of course I use a different size yarn and different size hook for that yarn. And I just don't, I started off the same. I just don't go, as many rounds as it would be for a thinner yarn. So it's basically about the same size, and it's just a slouchy beanie and about one skein. Yeah, one skein will make this hat. And if I can get it on because I've got my little hair thingy. So that's kind of what it looks like. Just a basic beanie hat. Very thick and warm. I think this is very unisex. So, like, a guy or a girl can wear this. It's I've got a small head, so it might be good for somebody else that's got a small head. I've had people tell me lately I've got a small head. I got small ears and all that stuff. So far I have two of those. So 1, 2, and then I've been trying to do one skein projects. And then I made this Mobius cowl out of the same stuff. And Mobius kind of means that it just kind of twists on its own. Okay. And if I need, you can double it up if you needed to, like so. But again, it's wool and it's itchy wool. So I don't know. Some people absolutely love the feel of wool. I'm like, no, it's too itchy for me. So I don't know. I might think of something else to make with this wool. If anybody else has a suggestion on what to make with that dark greenish brown, it's called urban camo colorway, super itchy wool. I don't think it's super itchy, but it's itchy. It's like, ugh, itchy. So make something with that. Um, then I had, where's that other ball bit? Here it is. I found it. And I was just going up to the bags and I was just kind of like opening up the bags and just kind of like closing my eyes and just kind of grabbing whatever is on top. And I pulled out this one skein. It is Loops and Threads Lush Alpaca. And that's the ball band for it. And the colorway was what was the colorway? It was in charcoal, so it was really just this really. It looks black, but it's really a super dark gray. So it wasn't really that hard to see in crochet, but I did do some fingerless gloves with this, and just because this was a chunky. What chunky? Wait, was this? This is a chunky. Yes, it's a chunky 6, and I didn't want to do another hat. So, because I thought the hats were itchy, I was like, well, maybe if I make them with fingerless gloves, it won't feel as itchy. Because your hands don't feel it the same as, say, like your neck or your forehead. I don't know. It's just the nerves there are different. They feel different things. Sorry, I've got like hair tickling my face. Or is it like yarn fuzz, something? Anyway, and then I was like, I want to go check out Bag O Day. And on her playlist, she actually has playlists that are to yarn weights, and um, and she had one for and I was just kind of scanning through it, and she had a tutorial for some fingerless gloves, and so that's what I made, and it was basically a skein, maybe a little bit less, but here they are. Very basic. I haven't woven in my ends, of course, you can tell. But, I mean, it's pretty good pattern. I liked it. Very simple. I mean, she's such a genius. I mean, she does some really simple patterns, but like, she just kind of just makes it make sense. And that's part of her genius. She makes it make sense. So there we go. Some fingerless gloves. And on hers, she had like really fancy buttons. And I know I've got some fancy buttons in my stash. It's just in my craft room and it's buried. I don't know where it's buried at. I've really got to get in there and hustle and clean that bad boy up. Okay, so then again, I went into my new Michael's yarn stash, and so I did it again. I closed my eyes and I rummaged around the bag, and the first thing I grabbed was another yarn. It was an acrylic, and I kept looking at it, and I was like, what am I going to do with this acrylic? It's not very soft. And it was, I know it was a Loops and Threads. I can't remember the name of it. Loops and Threads. It wasn't Charisma, was it? It could have been. Charisma's the thicker one, isn't it? What's the thinner one that's not Charisma? I can't remember. I'm just drawing a blank. I thought I would remember, but I can't remember what it is. But anyway, it's not very soft acrylic. It works up nice. It doesn't split. It works out really well. It's kind of reminds me of Super Saver in a sense. But I made this cute little toddler kitty cat purse. That size. Well, his whiskers are kind of loosey goosey. That's that one side. Here's the other side. So each side has the little whiskers on each side. Um, there is a little loop hole here for a button, and I'm planning on putting a button on there. I think I got a white button I'm just going to sew on there. I think that's what I got. I was thinking about a bead, but I think a white button would be just fine. And this was really easy. This took about maybe half a skein of that particular yarn, and I thought it was kind of cute. This is, kind of pinks and purples and white, a little bit of beige in there. I can't remember the colorway, but um, yeah, I think it turned out really, really cute. And I made this pretty much in a day. I mean, like in an afternoon watching a movie. Very simple pattern. The pattern, I picked this up off of Pinterest. Um, and this person is not on YouTube either, but you can find them on Pinterest, or you can find them on Facebook, and it's called Crochet Therapy, is the name of the blog. And this was her pattern. And her pattern is actually posted on another crochet site's pattern, which was posted on Pinterest. So it was like boop, boop, boop. But I thought it was really cute. And I'm starting a second one. So that's, my current whip is to starting a second little kitty cat toddler purse. I thought it turned out really cute. I really like it. I might change it up. I actually might want to put like maybe a button for the nose instead. I don't know. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with that, if I'm going to change it. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, well, maybe I can line this, you know, because I don't want if a toddler does buy it, you don't want all of those strings from the um, whiskers getting caught and then broken, and then that would mess it up. And so I think maybe lining it would be a good idea. And I've got some inexpensive, um, you know, end of the bolt pieces. I don't know, what do you call those? I wouldn't say like swatches. I guess maybe you could say it's a swatch. I don't know what you would call that. But anyways, they're just little pieces of fabric that I've picked up over at Hobby Lobby in their little clearance section, But discount little pieces of fabric. So, yeah, I got some of that. I can throw some of that in here, and I think that would make a cute little toddler purse. So, and it gave me inspiration. It is impeccable. I'm sorry. Sorry, it came up to me. Um, yeah, it's loops and threads impeccable, and I don't remember the colorway, but yeah, it's got a little tan. It's got purple, pink, and white in it. Well, that is cute. Anyway, so that's it pretty much. That's just what I've been working on recently, and most of that's actually what I've been working on the last week, except for the pumpkins. I kind of did mostly those in July, um, but the hat, the scarf, the fingerless gloves, the kitty cat purse, all of those I've been working on since not last Monday, since yeah no yeah since the previous Monday. Yeah, I think so. Because last Monday, yeah, that makes more sense. So anyway, that is that's what I've been doing. Watching TV and crocheting. And all these are really, really quick little one skein projects, which has kind of been my thing lately. Is trying to keep it one skein if I can, and if I have a little bit left over from those skeins, maybe I can do some scrap projects or something. Just little quickies is really what I'm. That's my goal. That's what I'm going after. Because actually, the majority of my stash is really just it's like one skein land. I've got a skein of this, got a skein of that. I mean, maybe I got a couple skeins of this, couple skeins of that, but not the majority of it is one skein stuff because I get a lot of mystery boxes. I really don't really buy a lot of things by the case. I did a couple of years ago when I first started getting on YouTube. I did buy several uh, packs and cases of dollar yarn from Lion Brand. So I've got a lot of still shawl on the ball and homespun from a couple of years ago. I still want to do stuff with that. I still love shawl on the ball and homespun. I just haven't done anything with it yet. And I probably why I need to get into my craft room is to organize it, excuse me, see what I have, etc. and and just kind of make an action plan on how to work through it. I have enough yarn to keep me busy, and you know, I got so many ideas and things I want to work on. I've got all these shawls that I want to make, all different kinds, and I'm just, really want to do that. I want to work down my bulky yarn. I want to make some more crafty stuff, like my pumpkins and this little kitty cat purse, things like that. I kind of want to I want to make a baby Yoda too. Just to see if I can make him because he's so darn cute. And so I just want to make one of those, and then if I can make it again, I'll make two, one for each of my nephews. That would be great. Um, so, so yeah, that's what I've been doing. All right, well, thank you guys so much for taking the time and watching my video, and I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you or talk to you later, and ta-ta for now.